Guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Finally, I'm doing another chit chat. Get ready with me. So grab your food, a drink or something, and enjoy it because it's gonna be long, like long. But I just finished doing this makeup look and I'm obsessed with it. There's no foundation, it's super easy actually. So if you want to see how I achieved it, keep watching. I'm about to leave the house though. I'm going to be doing a lot of shopping, so I'll be up and down, I'll be around a lot of people because I'm going to shop a lot of things. So I'm about to put on my perfume of the day, and that comes in with today's partner Dossier. So shout out to Dossier with partnering with me again in today's video. This is their perfume. I have so many of them. You guys know my absolutely any day special event. It's Amber Saffron. Look at how much I have used it, and my everyday, errands. Most of the times I usually do this Amber Saffron again. I have a refill of my favorites. So my favorites for special occasions are Amber Saffron and Woody Sage. That's why I have two of them. And then this one for everyday, Gourmet White Flowers. So if you don't know what Dossier is, it's perfume company make scents that are inspired by designer perfumes, but for a fraction of the price. Actually, their most expensive perfume is usually like $49. The rest are about $29. Most of them are $29, and they smell so good. So I have Woody Sage here, like a backup for the other one, and it's inspired by Joe Malone, Woody Sage, and Sea Salt Cologne. This one is unisex. I like it so much. It smells so good. And the other one, I already know how that one smells, but let's try this one. This one is amber cherry, I think so. I decided, amber cherry. I ordered this one because I wanted a different scent. I've tried so far amber saffron. I've told you guys I love it so much. Amber vanilla, it's also really nice for an everyday scent. And now I'm gonna smell amber cherry. This one is inspired by Tom Ford Lost Cherry perfume, and its top notes are cherry, almond, and cinnamon. Period. So I'm gonna smell it. This is the first time I'm smelling this one. Oh my god, it smells so good. It smells rich and so unique. I can definitely smell the cinnamon and the cherry. Oh my god, that smells so good. Wow, obsessed. And then I'm gonna smell woody sage, even though I already know how it smells, but let's just do it. I know how it. Oh my god, every time I smell this perfume, it smells so clean and kind of like boss woman. Like, it smells so good every time. I really like that amber cherry too. It's smelling very woman like. I think that's the best way to describe it. But they're all bangers. You need to go and check them out. So if you're in the US, there is a link in my description box. It will help you locate your nearest like Walmart that has Dossier. Actually, Dossier, they're available in Walmart too. So you can either order from their website. I also have a discount code that will give you 5% off on their website. That is if you're shopping directly from their website, dossier.com. I'm gonna put the discount code here, and it will also be down in my description box. Go to Walmart stores and you can smell them there. Also, if you're not in the US and you really want to get Dossier, you can shop from a Walmart and then get them delivered to your US address and then ship them to your country. So yeah, shop them on walmart.com too. If you're shopping from their website, they usually give you deals. If you buy more than three, there's discount. Check them out, and shout out to them for partnering with me continuously. Like, shout out to you guys for also buying from them. Okay, so I have my iced coffee here. It's gonna give me energy as we get through this makeup look. I'm not gonna do full beats because I actually don't have time. I am going somewhere, I'm rushing, I'm going to buy some stuff, so we're just getting ready to go and buy stuff, like kind of run errands and some shopping. So I'll do my makeup quick. I'll do, that signature look that I usually do, that it doesn't have necessarily eyeshadow, foundation, or anything, but it still looks so good and flawless. That's what we're going to do. I think I've done a tutorial before in a previous vlog, but today's video, it's a chit chat, get ready with me, and I'm gonna be answering some of the questions that you guys sent me. I don't even know if it's a month ago on Instagram. Yeah, we will not get through all of them, but I'll try my best and do most of them. And I do a lot of talking, so we will try our best. So let's start. I'm gonna start by spraying my face, moisturize my skin. I've done my skincare, so last, it won't go anywhere. I love iced coffee so much. I've just made it at home. So somebody said, let's talk money business. I got a lot of, but I got a lot. I've remembered. I also posted, like, on the community tab. I posted, what is it called, like, the similar post where you guys can ask me questions. So I think I'll also check on YouTube. I don't know which ones to start with, the Instagram or the YouTube ones, but the YouTube ones are not many. So yeah. So somebody said, let's talk money business. I'll talk about that in another question that is asking something to do with money, because I had asked for, like, super specific questions so that I can be able to answer rather than generalized questions. It can be kind of hard because money talk is just in general, so there are specific areas about money, and I saw there were some people who are really coming through with such questions. So I'll talk about that in another question. I'm sure I'll get one. Love and relationships. I feel like that is also kind of general and adulting. Oh, adulting. I feel like we are all on the same page here. Like, we are all just shocked. We just got here and we were like, we didn't know it was gonna be like this. I feel like everybody has been shocked by adulting, especially if you didn't grow up in a community or, like, in a family where, like, you're actually told exactly what adulthood means. Because I feel like we all had this illusion of what adulthood actually is, which is not. And I think everyone is kind of shocked when you get here. You're like, okay, I feel like it's something very personal, but the consistent thing in everyone, first of all, apart from being shocked, when we were younger, in your teens, you were just like, oh my god, I can't wait to finish high school and just, like, be this independent person and just, like, have all this freedom. And then you come here and find out, oops, like, being an adult, I'm not gonna say it's hard, but it's definitely challenging because we were never given actual warnings. Like, how parents just, or, like, even society, it's just used to giving advice to children and, like, just people in general in a scaring way. If you don't do this, this will happen. But they don't tell you actually what actually happens in adulthood. So the shock. But in the first few years of adulthood, I feel like between 19 to 23, just expect yourself to be lost. Don't expect yourself to have anything figured out. I'm not saying if you're above that age you will have anything figured out, but I'm just saying if you're below that, don't expect to have everything figured out. You'll be shocked, you'll be depressed, you'll be shocked more, you'll be hurt more, you'll be shocked with life, you'll be disappointed with life, you'll be like, I didn't sign up for this. But eventually, if you decide to, at some point, you will just feel the need. I know it's not everybody who does it, but at some point, you have to, if you want to have a much easier, even though life will never be smooth or easy, but if you want to have an easier life, you have to go on a self-development journey. But don't expect to go on that when you're a young adult, because you have to be super super duper confused. Like, that's part of it, because you'll be shocked. It's like having a culture shock, but not in adulthood. So have a lot of grace for yourself in that. Don't put yourself so much pressure to figure out yourself and your life at that age. I feel like it's where you make mistakes, you outgrow things, you learn, you try a lot of things, you know what doesn't work for you eventually. So don't pressure yourself. But if you get at a certain point, something will happen. There has to be something drastic that will happen that will kind of wake you up and shake you up, hopefully to start a self-awareness journey. Yeah, but even with that, it's still a process. I feel like I might have talked a lot about that, but it's because I know how confusing it might be. Especially, of course, it varies if you have support, like your background, a lot varies. But I think everybody, despite like your situation, you have a shock when you become an adult. That's like, I feel like that's a universal thing. So just don't be so harsh on yourself. If you're that young, just allow yourself to make mistakes as you're discovering yourself, you're learning yourself. Don't put so much pressure on yourself, Aki. Imagine, I know it will feel tough, but you will get through it. That's all I can say. Slowly you will get through it. The worst thing, if you pressure yourself more, you will have already given up in life when you're still so young. That's all I can say for now. The part about love and relationships, I feel like that one would need a much more um specific question, like expounding like what exactly about love and relationships, like how to create, how to get in one, like as in all those stuff. But I would just say, once you start discovering yourself and just be authentic about yourself, because that's the most consistent thing. Just be authentic to yourself, like fully, not be perfect, because nobody is perfect. Just be authentic to you, even if maybe something you're doing wrong, but be authentic to you and be open, like to learn and grow. Everything like will just align with you, I promise. I know it sounds cliche and a lot of people say that, but it's true. It's true. So focus on discovering your authenticity, the rest will come. I promise. I promise. Because when you've not discovered your authentic self, it's so easy to be in the wrong relationship. It's so easy to have the wrong friendships, to be in the wrong job, to be in the wrong things. So you just keep growing, and the more you find your authentic self, the more you attract and repel other things and drop them that do not align with you. So it's a process. That's all I can say. But the more you are connected to yourself and your true authentic self, not a fake you that you think you are, like the actual you, the feelings and the thoughts that you have about yourself when you're alone, that the more your life will be more aligned to you. Okay, let me go to the next question. Um, friends who never reach out and feel neglected, in the sense I'm always reaching out. So I don't know if I have understood this question well, but do you mean like those friends they don't reach out but they're still the same ones who feel neglected, or are you with the friends who don't reach out and you're the one who is feeling neglected? I've let my concealer dry too much, so let me spray. The part whereby, that part of having friends who don't reach out, I feel like you have to have, first you have to have a conversation. It's a difficult one, because why are they not reaching out? Is it like they're just straight up bad friends? Is it like maybe you have not communicated to them, like I would like you to be reaching out and I'd like you to be communicating, like, have you guys outgrown each other? There can be multiple ways to look at that question. But I feel like you're talking from a point of they're not being good friends and they always expect you to reach out. I've been in those situations, and I'm sure also I've been on the other way. But oh, in a sense, I'm always reaching out. I feel like you have to communicate. If you've communicated to them once, twice, hey, um I'm feeling bad that I'm always the one who is reaching out, and so in some sense I'm feeling that the friendship is not important. I know guys, it needs a lot of vulnerability and dropping your ego, but if this is a friendship you really care about, you're gonna do that. um and I would appreciate if once in a while you can be reaching out so that I can feel I'm not alone in the friendship. Then communicate that to them. If you do that once, twice, and they still aren't doing it, it's up to you now to take the cue and return the energy. Stop reaching out. Because let me tell you, if you keep reaching out to somebody who is not reaching back out to you, probably there's not even anything personal. Probably the person has outgrown the friendship, or like even if they're just bad people, bad friends, if you keep enabling it, now it stops being a them problem and a you problem. Because why are you keeping, and you have already communicated, why do you keep talking to somebody who clearly doesn't give two shits about you? Yep. Like now you have to choose yourself, boo. I know it's gonna hurt, like, because probably you don't want the friendship to end, but that person has shown you they don't care and you have communicated. And let's say probably this is not somebody who maybe has a hard time with with texting, or like, because some friendship, it's not a must you guys be talking all the time. Like, I believe especially when you become an adult, you don't need to be texting all the freaking time, or like be in constant communication, but when you communicate it's still like the same. I'm stuck in this process so much. I need to finish. I'm gonna do light 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 powdering. So please take that into consideration. Are you just doing it because also the friendship? Why, if you have communicated something to somebody that you want them to do something in a certain way for you to feel good, and they're not, it's up to you now to ask, why do I keep forcing it? Is it because my abandonment and rejection wounds are like activated and triggered, or like, are you trying to make them choose you so that you can prove that you're worthy? And anytime I use these words, by the way, guys, always know that I'm using them in a good way, in a caring way. So ask yourself, like, because there's no need, if you've communicated something to somebody multiple times and they're not even showing effort to, like, at least a few steps, like, I've had you, I'm trying, even if they're struggling but they're trying, um it's gonna be a no. Just keep moving. I'm sorry, I know it's hard, but just start returning the energy, please. Just start returning the energy so that you will eventually start resenting your friends. Like, you will be, yes, now you have reached out to them, you guys are hanging out, but in your mind you're just like, fuck this. I'm always the one who is reaching out. They think they're what? And maybe if you've not communicated, then obviously it's not fair to your friend, you should communicate. But if you have, and they are not showing up for you, I know I'm repeating myself, but just start returning energy. If somebody is not even making any effort to, like, do what you have asked for, just keep it moving. You'll find another friend or something. Somebody said I prefer healing. I don't know exactly what that's about because there was no context, but shout out to you for choosing to heal. But I don't know the context of, like, what they meant by that, but shout out to you. Okay, I know, guys, it looks crazy at this stage, but just wait and watch. At what point did you realize you're gay and not bisexual? I'm not gonna take too long in this question, but because it's quite simple, like, I've always known. So even when I dated men, it was just all compulsive heteronormativity, and I had not, like, dropped the normal societal, like, every woman grows up with, especially if you're feminine, of male validation. The moment I dropped that, because I was gay even when I was super young, when we were living in the village. So when I came to Nairobi, it just, like, I kind of, my brain I just kind of suppressed it. But I was never attracted to men, even when I was dating them. It was the validation, and I feel like a lot of people, it's like that. I'm not saying straight people, maybe lesbians, but I knew like I was not bisexual because I was not attracted to men. It was just the validation. And the moment that I came out of that shell of wanting validation, like male validation, and I complete like I hate, like, if one thing about me, I don't like doing things for validation. Nowadays I'm not driven by validation. I absolutely not. So the moment I dropped that, I was like, you know what, I dealt with my internalized homophobia, and I was like, I'm gonna accept myself, I'm gonna deal with myself, because I was just being gay down low and I was not accepting it. But I knew I was just being with men, it was just for validation and maybe other reasons, but never because I was attracted to them. Ever, 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 ever. And a lot of people I've dealt with, like, my ego was big. In the past, they can attest, I was never. So that's the question. I just don't like men. I'm not attracted to men. I got over the need for seeking male validation, and I just dropped that whole thing. Yani ilitoka tu because it was never there. Okay, I hope it makes sense. Really say in general, whether it's like that male validation or just validation from people in general, the moment you stop existing or like doing your life of other people's validation, of course I'm not talking about like validation probably from your being validated and assured from your partner or family. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking like about to just do things for validation. The moment you're to grow that, you're able to connect with your inner authentic self so much. Oh my god, it's the best thing I've ever done in this world. Oh my god, cause I was bad, chow. I was not good. I was not good. Cause I would do anything for those validations. Like I was not a like the best person. Like I was not bad, but ladies, just drop male validation. Even if you're straight, you will be able to connect with your true self so much. You'll be able to go so higher. You'll be able to do things that you love, things that you dream of, things that are your goals. And if you just drop validation in general, even people who ask me how do I come out, or how do, I'm not saying it's easy but it's something like, I'm not saying coming out it's easy, but I don't like people who ask from that perspective of parents, because you're still asking it from a validation point. You want to be validated. You want your parents to be okay with you for something so that you can be that and it's who you are. Just be. You will tackle with their homophobia when you're already living your life. Otherwise, if you keep waiting for somebody else to validate you, you'll never be your authentic self. Okay? Yeah. So I was never bisexual because I'm not attracted to men, and I don't like men. Any type of attraction I don't have towards men. Na feel like nimechoka kukuwa firstborn. Girl, oh my god, first of all, sorry. I understand why you might be feeling tired to be a firstborn, because it's totally not easy and your feelings are valid. Like, they're so valid, because I know the struggle. I know the struggle. I know, like, sometimes you just really want to give up. You don't want to keep doing it. Like, sometimes you're like, just why me? I can't get a break. So I totally understand you. I honestly, I don't want to sound like, I don't want to use the word bad, because I don't want to invalidate. I just know how hard it is, and just know it will get better. I don't know. I honestly don't know how to say, but I understand that part of being tired. Sometimes it can be so exhausting, look for maybe ways, or like maybe activities or something you like to do you for yourself for some time to help you like take a break from that. Have something that is just yours, that is not connected from you being a firstborn, that it's just all about you, that when you're too overwhelmed you can take a break and like maybe do it, even if it's just watching. It doesn't have to be anything that consumes, like needs money. Just take some time, be making sure you're taking time to yourself, even if it's just relaxing, even if it's just not talking to somebody for like 2 3 hours, just to be alone and just feel relaxed. I really don't know how to respond to that, because I understand what you're saying 100%. Maybe you can have some support, like just somebody to talk to, or like just vent, or like you can journal if you don't want to have somebody you can vent to, or like if you don't want to talk to somebody about it, you can journal. You can just, the best I could the best advice I could give you is just be having some alone time, even if it's just in bed alone without talking to anybody, like just doing something that you just relax you. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but it's because I really don't know what I can tell you, because I know how tiring it can get, but at the same time, you can't escape it. It's just there, because the other option is for you to just run away and escape, but it's not possible. So just make sure you have some sort of way that you stay connected to yourself, as you just pray to God and keep manifesting that freedom that you need. That's all I can say for now. But sending you love, because I know it's not easy, I swear. And you also have to have a lot of boundaries that's why I've said you have to have something that is about you, that you can shut off, and also don't drain yourself so much. Have boundaries. Don't feel like you're responsible for everyone when you're neglecting yourself, because then you will resent them. And I feel like that happens a lot, when whether it's a friendship, a relationship, a firstborn, whatever you are, if you are overdoing and not pouring back to yourself, if like you're self-sacrificing, you will eventually hate that thing, hate yourself. But I know being a firstborn is something you can control, so just have something that is yours, that you cherish, that is just yours alone, because a lot of times it feels like everything you're doing is for other people, for the family, for your siblings, for what. You also have to have something that you do for yourself. Let me move on. um the next one is finances. Best investments you've made. Also, does YouTube pay well? YouTube AdSense, they don't pay well. I'm just gonna say that, even if I'm not gonna get into specifics, unless like it depends. I would say people who have like big channels, a lot of views, I'd say they're getting paid well. But when you're still growing your channel, it's not something you can depend on. That's why it has to be passion. If you're just starting a YouTube channel thinking you'll start making money, boo boo. You have to wait. Like, bro, it's you have to start it for passion, not for those things. Otherwise, you'll be so disappointed, because it's a growing thing. But if you have partnerships, I would say those are some of the ways that you make money through YouTube, but not the actual sister YouTube, maybe partnerships and stuff. Somebody said the best investment. The best investment, like I have so many investments I have made. I know one might sound shallow, but my bed is like for 2022, like bed was the best investment I've ever done for myself, and I'm about to make another big one, and like I'm so happy for it, even though I'll say it later. But yeah, like you see, something like a bed, if you're firstborn, like because like my bed and my mattress, everything, it was an investment to myself. And I love that so much because it's not easy or often like we get to like invest back to ourselves. But me, I usually make sure like I'm giving back to myself here and there, like with things that I love. But a bed was the bed and the mattress was a really big one, and I just made another big one, and I'm super excited about it. So, but if you mean investment in terms of making, I've talked about investments to myself, and I have other many things like my businesses and stuff. But I just said the ones that are to myself, not like getting money in investments. If you guys want us to talk about that, we can do that in another video. Oh, the makeup is looking so cute. Somebody said, relationships before you met your partner, did you ever lose hope in terms of finding? No, I I, I don't think I had, because I was single and I was not per se looking like actively searching for a relationship. So I was not what I do, just very light bronzing. But basically, like I've said, I was not worried because at that time I was not even like fully focused on like being in a relationship. I was just like on my self development and acceptance journey and just growing. I was never worried because for some reason it was never a worry for me. Eventually, I knew, all I knew is that the next relationship I was gonna be in, even though I was not planning on one when or what, I was gonna do my best to be a better version of myself. And so when me and my girlfriend decided to start dating, it was quite an easy decision for me to make. Like, I'm going to get into this thing 100% because also it's a girl. Like, yeah, I was so happy. I was so happy. So I was ready, but I didn't know the exact level of growth and work you actually have to put on to have a healthy thing, because the triggers were triggering. Like, it's so much growth, that's what I usually say. The most you can do is just be self-aware, do a bit of self-development work. But for any type of trauma and any wounds that you created through relation, like, relation means whether it's friends, mostly in your childhood, that's still a relation. It's a relationship that you have between you and your caregivers, between you and your parents. Any type of trauma that you got from a situation of, it's you and another person, again mostly childhood trauma, or like even past experiences, you'll have to heal it in a relationship. So whichever type of relationship, but you have to heal it in a relationship. You can't just heal that with self-development. That's why self-development and awareness, it's just good before you get into a relationship, because it will help you be open into doing the work, open into identifying what is actually happening, open like to learn new things and unlearn things, open to identify your toxic behaviors, to identify your boundaries, to identify what you don't like. That is what self develop, like just being aware of things. That's why it's very important. It's one of the most important things, because if you're not self-aware, it doesn't matter. You can be not self-aware, so you just in a relationship, you just think. You can't even know when something is a trigger. You can't know when you're feeling a certain emotion. You can't know when you're having a trauma. You can't know when it's a boundaries. Like, you just like a zombie. You're a robot. And most people are living in a robot way because they're not self-aware. So I would say self-aware is the most important thing, and then healing and self-love, they can be cultivated in some sort of, in relation, but you have, in relation to others. But self-awareness, you have to have it in you. Like, there's something in your life that has to happen to shake that thing in you to be self-aware. Okay. because self-aware is what helps you to be more authentic. Like it's the gateway. If you just be like, oh my god, I'm aware there's a certain pattern in my life, oh my god, I'm aware I've been suppressing something, you know, the moment you get aware and now they start getting triggered, now you start like learning yourself. I hope I'm making sense of what I'm saying. So that's all I would have to say about that. But no, I was not worried. I was not worried because I knew eventually I was in the vibration of I'm going to put my best foot forward, so that if anything ever never works out, if I get into a relationship, I knew I give it my best. So I was not worried at all, at all, at all. I'm so glad I met with my girlfriend because I've grown so much, and the self-awareness was amazing. Some things are hard, like healing your traumas is not easy. Like you can feel like you're crashing, you're going down, but it's the best thing ever, to be honest. I feel like this question is very similar to what I've just talked about. I'm looking for my eye pencil. Oh my god. A minute. I won't talk so much on this point because I've realized I've talked for 4 minutes about the previous one. But just take what I've said in the previous one to kinda it's it will mean the same in this one. The question was love question mark. Talk about the shift from toxic relationship to healthy one. Like I've said, the first thing that you need to be is aware. So, like what I've just said in the previous question, be aware and then be willing to do the work and be willing to face uncomfortable feelings that might cause a lot of pain that you didn't even know you have suppressed. Be willing to learn about yourself more. Actually, whenever your partner triggers you, and I'm talking about like being triggered based on triggers are some most of the times they have nothing to do with your partner. Most of the time they have a lot to do with your past experiences. And like I keep saying all the time, I'm not talking about those people who you know completely your partner is just a piece of shit. I can't talk. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking like a certain maybe pattern you've realized, or like deep, deep emotions that maybe they don't have anything per se to do with the actual fight, but you're feeling them, just triggers. Most of the time, they have nothing to do with the current situation that you're going through. That's why they're called triggers. So when you go through that, please be open, and also your partner has to be open to giving you grace, you guys giving each other grace, and like talking about being extremely vulnerable, talking about how specific things made you feel, um whether it's certain words, whether it's certain actions, why you want certain things, like certain ways of your needs being met. But most important, you have to go deep when you get triggered and ask yourself exactly, or probably most of the time when you're starting out, it won't be in that situation because you don't have the tools to do all this stuff and to maybe control yourself from reacting. So after that, you have to go down and know exactly where the core wound, the source of the wound of why you felt so much big emotions about a specific thing, and then genuinely communicate them to your partner. And also your partner has to be open and receptive to what you're saying. And at first, if you both didn't have those healthy like skills, it's gonna be hard. But if you're both dedicated into learning and supporting each other through that journey, you'll get it eventually. It's a process. It's sometimes even a long life process, but you have to also be with a partner who is on the same page with you, because there's no way. And all this thing of triggering and traumas, it does not mean Now you're not accountable of your own actions, like you don't take accountability when you're the one who has done something wrong. It's just a way of acknowledging and validating and looking for a solution and a better way to handle things in the future. If like you're an avoidant person, know how to lean more into like opening up, being comfortable with sharing things with your partner. If you're an anxious person, be more open into looking for self-soothing mechanisms, and then later you can talk to your partner. Like, it's a lot with the way, guys, and it's not easy. That's all I can say. If you have disorganized attachment style like I do, also my girlfriend does, so just know, like, you have to know what your triggers are, know also your partner's triggers, and just try your best to know how to handle them when you have triggered each other, because triggering each other is not something you can avoid. But again, like I've said, if you don't have self-awareness, you'll never know this is triggering, you're triggering each other. You'll never know this person is triggered. You'll never know this is a trauma response. You'll never know, like, you will always be taking things personally, and you will never be able to take accountability of your side, or your partner being able to take accountability for their side. So it will always be a cycle. Even if you change partners, it's something that is following you, like, because you're not self-aware. Get, again, I've found myself talking too much, but I hope that has kind of made sense. Just a lot of work, and it won't be easy, and it won't be linear. Sometimes you'll go back to your coping mechanism habits. Sometimes you'll not be able to, like, at the moment, make full use of your tools. But always at the end, always be accountable. That's what I would say. Always. And be, you have to also have a partner where both of you are on the same journey and both of you agree in validating each other. Because if you're with a partner and it's a one-sided relationship, you will resent that person and you will hate yourself too in the process. It's the worst thing ever, 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 ever. It's not fair for yourself, and it's not fair for the other person. You also need to learn how to have uncomfortable conversations with the ones that require you to explain and talk about your insecurities, like being willing to take feedback too. At the beginning it might be difficult, but eventually it's a process. You get to adapt. Let me stop talking about that. But it all starts with self-awareness from both parties, not just one. If it's just one, it won't work. It won't work. And I know, like, you both can influence each other, but to be more self-aware. But that thing has to be inside someone, like somebody has to be open. So if you're getting into a relationship, despite whether you're a man or a woman, you have to be open into, like, not always being good and hearing feedback, and, like, all those things, and learning and growing, kind of that part. You have to do it together. Okay, let me move on to the next question. I'm almost done. I'm just gonna, I don't know, I did this brow a bit too aggressive. This is the last question that I'm gonna answer. Actually, I think the rest I'll answer them next time, because about being gay and coming out, I feel like I've talked about this, guys. Please don't be afraid of what is it called, being your authentic self because of other people. Of course, I understand if you're in a situation whereby you depend on your parents, like they support you, but eventually you have to have a solution, because is that what is going to be for the rest of your life? No, you'll never come out. Like, no, you'll never be you. You always have to be hiding. Like, like, even if they're supporting you, in the back of your head, just be looking for ways where eventually you're going to be um what is it called, financially even free, even if it's not a lot, but you can support yourself so that you can have the freedom to be who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but don't suppress who you are because of your parents, because it's only you who it's gonna hurt. You're gonna keep being in the wrong relationships. If you're meant to be gay, and maybe you know you're gay, not that you're meant to be, if you know you're gay and you're supposed to be dating a woman or a man, and you're in a heterosexual relationship because that's what society has told you, or that's what your parents want, you will resent yourself, you resent the family, you resent, but at the end of the day, you can't keep doing that and not be blaming everyone, because you couldn't like be you because of other people. At some point you have to take accountability of, like, you have not agreed to stay in that situation, because you can just choose to, you know. And I know it's not hard. Let me not say that because somebody might be like, but it's not easy. But at the same time, choose one, whether you're going to please your parents and the society, or like you're going to be happy, you know. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say for now. Let me finish off my makeup so that I can leave the rest of the questions. I will i will answer on another video. Oh my god, I almost forgot I have makeup on. This is how I usually do this makeup look. You can do now any lipstick that you want. Let me put on mascara. But if anybody watches my video, to be honest, it doesn't, sexuality aside, whatever you want to do in your life, whether it's career, I don't know, whether you want to date somebody from a different tribe, with you know, it can be a lot of things, whether you want to take a certain course but your parents do not approve, like, you know, just all those things. At a certain point, you have to take charge of your life and decide, because you always hate yourself, trust you me. If you're always being somebody that you know you're not, or like doing something that you know you don't like and you hate, you will resent yourself so much. And again, if you're not self-aware, you'll always be blaming other people instead of actually like taking accountability by yourself and actually deciding now to do whatever you want, whatever you desire, your heart desires and your soul wants. So yeah, and I know it's not easy, by the way. It's just that you have to have a bit of, like, I don't want to use the word don't care, but you have to have a bit of umanga. Let me use that word. You have to be a bit rebellious for you to achieve what you want. Otherwise, if you keep listening to society and other people, you stay in your own cage. You'll never follow your dreams. You'll never fulfill what you want. Like, you'll never start that business. You'll never start that channel. You'll never um start whatever art you want, other things. So just go for it. Go for it. The people who will stay were meant to stay. The people who won't, just say bye bye. They were not good for you anyway. Because why should somebody love a version of you that you don't like? I mean, that is not your authentic self. Why should they force you to be something that is not authentically you? You get what I mean? That is somebody who genuinely don't care about you. Anyway, guys, let me put on the lipstick and then we are done. I'm gonna wear this lipstick. I was thinking these one, they're all from Wet and Wild. I love them so much. I think they can also do an ombre, but I don't think I'm feeling an ombre. An ombre, I feel like it would need a super full glam, you know, eyeshadow, foundation, because I've not applied any foundation, and this is how the skin looks. But I think I just do this one because I'm actually going to run errands, so there's no need to overdo. Oh my god, it looks so good. I wish you guys could see me in person. Oh, it looks so good. Nudist peach, and you can find them in my cosmetics shop. It's linked down below. So it's a nude. I feel like it's so pretty.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby. And twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain.
Drying it very quickly. I'm obsessed. I knew it's not full glam. Anyway, guys, I enjoyed the question. I know it's not. I didn't go into the extremely deep stuff like last time, but they're gonna be at part two, even if it will come next month. But there's still a lot of other questions I've not answered. So, guys, I am done. Thank you so much for watching, and please make sure you check out Dossier. And let me know what you think about the questions that I have answered. Also, if I've repeated myself in some of the questions, I have ADHD. Please just excuse that. Also, it gets into, especially when I'm talking about things that I'm really like. For the ones that I've repeated, I have ADHD, and sometimes I find myself, especially if I'm talking about topics that I'm really passionate about, I tend to repeat myself like a lot, the same thing, but a lot. But just know if I'm repeating it, it's because it's so important. It doesn't only happen but they on camera. Even when I'm talking to my girlfriend or like I'm talking in real life, if I'm super passionate about something, I'll explain it over and over. Or maybe it's autism, I don't know. But guys, just ignore those parts but listen to what I have said, guys. I would really like to encourage a lot of you guys to be more self-aware, like be so self-aware to a point whereby you don't find yourself repeating so many cycles in your life, and it's because you're not learning the lesson that you're supposed to learn, or like you're not discovering a certain part of yourself, so you have to keep repeating and repeating it, and then you get frustrated but you don't understand why you're repeating it. Because again, it most of the time it all goes back to you, and most of the things and most of people you interact with, and a lot of things, even with your work and everything, how you view life, it reflects on like a lot on your inner peace and who you are as a person. Like are you aware about things, are you not, like, because life is not easy, but when you're not self-aware it's even more harder sometimes. I know, yes, being asleep and not being self-aware, you can just do things like you can just be living life just for the sake of living, but one day you'll be like, oh my god, what life have I been living? And sometimes you might even be under the illusion that you're living a good life, but it's not authentic to you. I don't know if that makes sense what I'm saying. You can be living a life that seems good to the society, but it's not you, it's not who you are, it's not authentic to you. Like, it's actually a real thing. So I'll just like to like encourage you guys to be self-aware, and just like work on yourself, and like, in general, so that it can be kind of like easier. At first it won't be easy, but it will give you so much clarity, and you'll be able to understand life much more, and you'll be much happier, even though a lot of the work most of the time it can be painful, but in the long run it's so good and so worth it. Okay, ignore the fly that has been all over the video, it's annoying me so much. But I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.